Hey everybody, we're back. This is XL 10-Minute Leaders. And every day we bring different stories from different aspects of business, technology, leadership, society, people who are making a difference and making change. Today I'm joined by Ari Galper, all the way from Sydney, Australia, joining us in the studio. Ari, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
So we're going to talk 10 minutes about your craft, which is sales. Before we go, I want to ask you a question off the record, but we're live here now. What was the first thing you ever sold? Let's go way back to young Ari.
Actually, it was coupons for car repair, oil changes, tune-ups. It was a square little card, and they would stamp a hole in it. And I'd go door to door, and I'd sell this sort of card to university to pay for my university. And
how old were you then?
I was 18 years old, I think 19 years old, and did quite well, actually, and really enjoyed it.
There you go. That was the making of the myth. All right, so 10 minutes. Let's start now. Okay, Ari, what does it say on your business card?
Actually, it's right here, and it says, Ari Galper, the world's #1 authority on trust-based selling. It has my book and my details and my photo.
It's all there. I like it when people put photos on business cards. The number of times you go to events.
Touching both sides.
Yeah, they give you a card and you're sort of looking through all the cards and I can't remember that guy. Who's that? No idea. But when you put a photo on it, it makes a big difference. This is all about trust as well, isn't it? Why is trust important to sales?
Well, because it's missing from it. And if you actually add it in consciously, you'll totally differentiate yourself from everyone else and be much more successful.
So are people selling without trust? I would have thought that's basic, isn't it? You need trust to sell.
Well, the issue is not whether they're trustworthy or not. The issue is, are they consciously building and creating trust in their conversations? And that is debatable, because that's what we'll talk about today, is people are being conditioned to sell and not create trust with people.
Right. In what way do we need to consciously create trust?
Well, we have to be aware of our own conditioning from the old sales gurus and the old habits that got us caught up in sales mode, jumping in too early, doing free consulting, over-delivering pre-sale. All these things that we do unconsciously, and then chasing people, following up, all these behaviors that we're still stuck with from the 80s that we still live with there today.
Wait a minute, free consulting, is that not a good thing?
If you're a nonprofit, it's fantastic.
Okay, all right, gotcha. But if you're in it to make money, then why do people sort of fall into these old-fashioned and maybe ineffective modes of selling? What's the driver behind this?
Well, because they've been taught to believe that selling is about educating. Selling is about delivering value. Selling is about relationship building. And I'll be a contrarian and debate that all three are incorrect.
Wow. Okay, so
go ahead.
This is news to me.
The goal is not to deliver value pre-sale. The goal is to provide clarity on their problem, not deliver value. 2, the goal is not to build, and here comes a bomb, not to build a relationship with somebody pre-sale. You build a relationship with them after they're a client, not before they're a client. What happens is we've been taught to believe they have to like us and know us before they'll buy from us. The reality is they don't care about you. What they care about is their problem. And if you mix in relationship building and focusing in on solving their problem at the same time, it gets very messy. And plus they know it's fake anyways. Hi, how's it going? Nice to meet you. It's all fake rapport that they really are interested in. So my model is where you shift to what I call a doctor-patient relationship in your sales process, where they're the patient, they got a problem, you have to diagnose the problem. And I've got a new bumper sticker I'm working on right now, and it's a pin. It's going to be called "Doctors Don't Do Coffee."
Well, at least you know what you're getting with a doctor. That's the point, isn't it? You know what the deal is, and the doctor's not messing around. So I guess it's a lot more understanding in terms, it's much more transparent in terms of what the transaction is.
Well, that's a good point, because if they try and be your friend, then they'll have a hard time telling you the truth of your problem.
When did you realize this in your sales process? You must have been trained in those 80s methodologies when you were starting out. What was the point where you flipped and realized, actually, we need to do this different?
Sure. It's a story that happened to me 20 years ago. I was a sales manager in a software company, and we launched the first online website data collection tool. It's like Google Analytics, very similar to that. And the leads came across my desk. There were big opportunities. It's one lead came across my desk, and big company. I called them back, and they agreed to a conference call. And if I made this one sale, it would double the revenue in one go. That's how big it was. And so they finally came for the live demo call, and I was in the conference room with my CEO. I closed the door behind me. I dialed the number on the conference line, and he picks it up. He says, hello. I said, hi, John. How's it going? Good. I introduced myself, and he says to me, Ari, let me tell you who else is here with us today in the room. I said, great. Next thing I hear is, my name's John. I'm CEO. I was like, oh, wow, this is a good person. My name's Mike. I'm head of IT. Wonderful. My name is Julie. I'm head of global marketing. Amazing. Everybody on this call was a decision maker. Like, this is the call we hope to get through as often as possible. Then I introduced myself. I gave them a live demo over the web to show them how we can collect their information for them. And I'm showing this to them. I hear this noise in the phone call, like, wow, this is great. They start thinking to me like, Hari, how does it work? How do we install it? I mean, there was so much chemistry on this phone call, Graham. It was like a love fest on the phone. You know what I'm talking about? Like, they had all our kinds of questions. I had all the answers. There was so much chemistry. I was like, oh, this is the most amazing opportunity. And the call comes to a close. My contact says to me, Ari, we love it. This is great. Give us a call in a couple of weeks, follow up with us, and we'll move this thing forward. I said to myself, thank you, God. I was so excited. I mean, this was the deal of the year. And I said my goodbyes. I took my arm and my hand to reach for the phone to hit the off button. As I'm reaching for the off button, by complete accident, and that was a divine intervention, my thumb hit the mute button instead of the off button. I hit the wrong button by accident. A small click happened. They started talking amongst themselves, thinking I had left the call. Now, what would you imagine that you would have heard after the call like that? Not a trick question. What would you expect to hear from a call like that typically?
Yeah, discussing what was going on.
You'd expect fairly reasonable things like, sounds good, we like this, but let me share with you what I heard verbatim, word for word. What they said was this. They said, we're not going to go with him. Keep using him for more information, and make sure we shop someplace else cheaper.
Cheaper. That was the last word, yeah.
Twist. I was in a state of shock. I hit the off button. I looked at the wall and said to myself, what did I do wrong? I did everything I was taught to do. I was competent. I was professional. I built a relationship. Everything I was taught to do by the gurus I did. And I had the epiphany that moment. You can tell me what you think about this. I realized that moment that somewhere along the way, it has become socially acceptable not to tell the truth to people who sell, right? It's okay to say things like, sounds good, send me information. Oh, we're definitely interested. Wait, send me a proposal, without having any intention of buying. And that became my big wake-up call when I realized at that moment that there is a river of pressure that flows underneath every call you have someone. If you don't build trust with them, you'll never get the truth. That became our whole concept called Unlock the Game last 20 years, helping people change their lives around, changing their thinking around this process.
Do you think now that there's increasing from the buying side, fear of missing out, that people feel that they have to get a proposal because they're missing information? In some countries, for example, like if you do sales in Germany, if you knock on the door and say, I'm selling a product, and they'll say, no, not interested. But in many other countries, like, we're increasingly now afraid of missing out. That is the culture we have now, is that, okay, get the information, collect the information, have all this information now, drowned in information. Let's keep Ari going, because if we send him away, he might not give us more information. So it seems to be that is the pressure now on buyers as well, right? And we're paying the price for that as salespeople.
Yeah, we ask ourselves, why is that? Why are they just come to the expert and ask us all the answers? Why do they have to go on their own and do it? Because they don't trust people who sell. They believe they have a hidden agenda, which many do, to make the sale. They don't care about them within totality. And there's a whole bunch of games going on, which puts their guard up, which creates all the toxic, dysfunctional relationship with people that we have now by chasing ghosts who never call us back.
So Ari, we've got about a minute left. And what kind of tips? I know this is reduction of your work, your life's work into 1 minute. It's a little bit unfair, but you're a sales guy. You're used to high pressure environments. Let's squeeze it down because the listeners will probably want to think, okay, right, I'm interested. How do I start building trust apart from buying the book and talking to you? What are those giveaways that you can say, right, here's where you start?
First, you have to remove your sales languaging you're using all these years that associate you with the negative impression of selling. For instance, never again use the phrase follow-up ever again after this call. What's the only industry in the world that uses the word follow-up?
Sales.
Exactly. And here we are following up people, following up, touching base. These are all sales languaging that connects you to that negative stereotype. Instead, use what we call trust-based languaging. Here's an example. Say this instead. I'm giving you a call to see if you have any feedback on our previous conversation. That word alone will bring out the truth.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, it's endemic, isn't it? It's been ingrained into us for...
We're so conditioned to get to the yes that our behaviors are so evident. People know it at hello and at the sales over at hello, not at the end.
Yeah, it's fascinating. I mean, I've been in sales for 30 years, effectively. And, I feel that I've started out with all of those 80s manuals. I've done it all. I've done the know, like, trust, all that thing, the funnels. And even though, we all kind of sell in a different way, I started out picking up the phone, 120 calls a day. And really, we haven't advanced a lot, have we? We've just kind of now adopted new technologies. The mindsets are no different.
Here's the thing. The customers have advanced. We haven't. Because trust is now the new currency. That's the currency at post-COVID they're going to use to judge whether they're going to buy from you or not. And if you aren't consciously putting trust back into your process and stripping out all the sales behavior you're doing right now unconsciously, you're going to hit a wall and a lot of pain.
You heard it here first. Ari Galper, everybody. Where do we find out more about you?
Well, get me at LinkedIn, Ari Galper. Connect with me there, say hello, or go to unlockthegame.com. My book is there, a free course, and also a complimentary coaching session. And that in itself is an experience because when you have a call with us, you won't get a sales pitch. Experience that. You might enjoy it. Okay.
Go and try it out. So the challenge is out there. That's Ari Galper. Ari, thanks a lot for joining us today and sharing your insights on sales and your craft.
Thank you.